The Apple Watch Series 3 was launched last autumn and was a critical hit. We also think it has sold quite well, but we don't really know since Apple refuses to outline the numbers sold. That's probably because the numbers wouldn't look that great up against the numbers of iPhones or Macs sold. However, we do know that Apple's wearables business, including Beats and AirPods, is as big as a Fortune 300 company, so effectively one of the top 300 US companies. Tim Cook also said back in February that sales around last Christmas and in that quarter were the best ever for Apple Watch. When is the Apple Watch Series 4 release date? If there is a new watch this year, it'll be announced at the same time as the iPhone 11, so in September. That means the Apple Watch Series 4 release date will probably be late September or early October. The new Apple Watch software update, WatchOS 5, was announced at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, WWDC, in early June. Apple trailed several new features in WatchOS 5, including a lot of new activity and workout features, the walkie-talkie app and interactive notifications. Find out more about WatchOS 5 features. Apple Watch Series 4 design and display be like? It wouldn't be too far-fetched to assume that Apple will change the design of the watch, as it has retained much the same form since the very first Series 1 model launched in 2015. The display seems to be the key specification that will be upgraded for Series 4. Straight off the back of the new iPad 9.7-inch launch, usually reliable KGI Securities analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has issued a new report saying the upcoming Apple Watch Series 4, due out later this year, will have a 15% larger display. Along with a larger display, Kuo says the new Apple smartwatch will have improved health monitoring capabilities and a longer battery life than the current Series 3 model. However, while Kuo says the Series 4 will come with a larger display, he doesn't say whether the size of the casing will increase too, or if Apple will keep the current size and just shrink the bezels. Twitter tipster Ben Gaskin has waded in on the debate and produced a mock-up of what he thinks the new watch will look like, based on Kuo's predictions. His design shows the same overall size watch, but will much slimmer bezels. However, if the battery life does increase, the watch may need a larger casing to accommodate a larger battery. Kuo doesn't go into too much detail regarding the rest of the watch, but he says the combination of a more trendy form factor design, additional sensors beyond heart rate monitoring and lower prices for the older models, will have a positive impact on sales. Apple Watch Series 4 buttons. Apple may also be looking to replace the buttons on the Apple Watch with solid-state buttons for the Apple Watch 4, according to a report from Fast Company. The move to solid-state buttons will allow the Apple Watch to be more water-resistant because there will be no gap needed for movement, and it will also free up space inside the watch, which could be used for a larger battery. The report, which cites a source with direct knowledge of Apple's plans, says that Apple will stick with the current button configuration of the digital crown and side button. Fast Company's source said these changes could make their way into the new watch that Apple is expected to announce later this year, but we may not get a new Apple Watch until 2019, anyway.